Have you ever stopped to think about how short life is? Not just how short, but how very, very short life is. You know, when you look back over your whole life, all the moments that you've lived so far, they shrink down into such a tiny fraction of a second. It's almost impossible to comprehend. And yet we spend most of it chasing things that don't last, don't endure. We chase after wealth, status, possessions, recognition, or maybe just a little bit of happiness, always trying to hold on to something that slips through our fingers like sand. So today, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Buddhism, let's ponder upon this. If life is so short, what really matters? Welcome to my channel, where we delve into the depths of Buddhist teachings to find practical wisdom for everyday living. Today we are reflecting on a profound Buddhist truth. You see, Gautama Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, who awakened over 2,500 years ago, had this striking reminder for humanity. He said, "All conditioned things are impermanent. Nothing is permanent, not even our bodies. Everything that we identify with will change, will pass away, will come again." This understanding of impermanence, called anicca in Pali, is not meant to be depressing. Rather, it's profoundly liberating. It cuts through the illusion of permanence and allows us to see clearly what truly matters. The Buddha likened our grasping onto things that are impermanent, that are constantly changing, like our wealth, status, or even our lives, to someone who keeps trying to hold on to smoke. No matter how hard we try, these things slip through our fingers. They can't last forever because nothing lasts forever. Even the longest rivers eventually dry up. The tallest mountains crumble over time. Nothing is immune to change. Everything is impermanent. When we realize how short and precious each moment is, it should shake us out of our complacency. It reminds us not to squander our time and energy on things that don't truly matter. Instead, we are encouraged to focus on what really matters. But what is it? What really matters? In his teachings, the Buddha pointed towards three qualities that matter most in life: loving kindness, mindfulness, and wisdom. Loving kindness, or metta in Pali, is the warmth and kindness that we offer to ourselves and others. How we treat others, whether with kindness, compassion, or with anger and resentment, is what truly makes a difference. The Buddha taught that we should always try to do good, to be compassionate and kind, because that is what leaves a lasting impact on the world. On our deathbed, we won't regret the kindness we've shown, but we might regret the harm we've caused. Mindfulness, or in Pali sati, is about being present. How often are we lost in regrets about the past or worries about the future? We dwell on past mistakes, or ruminate over what could have been, or we worry incessantly about what might happen. When we do this, we rob ourselves of the present moment, which is all we truly have. Mindfulness is about anchoring ourselves in the here and now, appreciating the beauty of this moment before it slips away. It's about being fully engaged in whatever we are doing, whether it's washing the dishes, walking in the park, or sitting in meditation. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the path to liberation from suffering because it helps us to stop wandering in the endless and futile pursuit of happiness elsewhere. Then there's wisdom, or panya in Pali. Wisdom is the ability to see through illusions, to understand the nature of reality. The Buddha taught that one of the greatest illusions is the idea of permanence, the belief that things will always remain the way they are. He also taught that another illusion is the idea of a permanent self or soul. These illusions cause us immense suffering because when we cling to them, we suffer. When we lose them, we suffer. But when we see through these illusions and understand that everything is impermanent, including our ideas about ourselves, then we are free from much of our suffering. Then we are able to live more peacefully. These three qualities, loving kindness, mindfulness, and wisdom, are the cornerstones of Buddhist practice. They are the practices that help us navigate the ups and downs of life with grace. But here's the problem. Even though we know, intellectually at least, that everything is impermanent, that nothing lasts forever, we still tend to get caught up in the rat race of life. We chase material possessions, harbor grudges, or get lost in endless desires. Why do we do this? Because we forget the second part of the Buddha's reminder, which is that everything that has a beginning has an end. Everything that is subject to birth is also subject to death. Everything that we experience, whether it's pleasure or pain, will not last forever. One day, it will end. So when we keep grasping onto things that are not within our control, when we hold on tightly to the pleasures of this moment, forgetting that they too shall pass away, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment and suffering. But the Buddha gave us a simple solution to this problem. He said that whenever we are tempted to grasp onto something, to hold on tightly to something that is impermanent, we should ask ourselves this question: will this lead to peace, compassion, and freedom, or will it create more suffering? This question acts as a powerful reminder. It stops us in our tracks and forces us to evaluate our actions, our thoughts, and our intentions. Think about it. When we want to buy a new car, instead of mindlessly going into debt to possess it, we should ask ourselves, will this car lead to peace, compassion, and freedom, or will it cause me financial stress and worry? When we encounter someone who has wronged us, instead of holding on to our anger and resentment, we should ask, will this grudge lead to peace, compassion, and freedom, or will it only cause me more pain and suffering? When we feel tempted to indulge in unhealthy habits, we should ask, will this unhealthy habit lead to peace, compassion, and freedom, or will it harm my health and bring me suffering? This question, will this lead to peace, compassion, and freedom, or will it create more suffering, is a simple yet profound tool for making decisions, for checking our habits, and for examining our motivations. It is a reminder to live each moment intentionally, to choose wisely, and to cultivate inner peace and wisdom. We have already covered in depth how to practice loving kindness or metta, the first of the three qualities that matter most. We have also delved into mindfulness or sati, the second quality. In our upcoming videos, we will explore wisdom or panna, the third essential quality. As we draw this reflection to a close, let's take a moment to digest the Buddha's reminder. Yes, life is short. The time we have with our loved ones, the days we spend in good health, and the opportunities that come our way are all limited. But here's the thing. Life is not only short, it is also long enough. Long enough for us to learn to love one another more deeply. Long enough for us to practice mindfulness and savor each moment. Long enough for us to cultivate wisdom and see through illusions. What truly matters is not how many years we have, but how deeply we awaken in the time we are given. It's not about extending our lifespan, but about intensifying our living. So let us live with awareness, kindness, and wisdom. Thank you for joining us on this journey of Buddhist wisdom. If you found this teaching helpful, we invite you to become part of our community. Your support helps us continue sharing these teachings. And if you have any questions or would like to share your thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. Until next time, may you find peace, joy, and wisdom in your journey.